oral a operation recover all loot and your operation prosecute all looters recover all loot ni to say enra mahu a publication be and am say a year Afenyo Markins Sigo kwaji o maslock of 500,000 wo tua ora adwuma no no manya ne tie se osofo no ye friends and sofo a omato ni sofo mokoi sofo o MPP sofo ya national cathedral Ntim Fordjour ono so akotua no de
ma never say ma PENDREAM TV de o se dem yopo
Memo bibiara kwaba eba PENDREAM TV. So we are new to the channel. Now I subscribe to the channel. What better notification? Now I share ama afofro ensa akabi. Comment section ho. Nowadays what trend aba. Amanfobi ebisa. So what is the impact of oral? Na Hussein Ibrahim, spokesperson to Ashanti Regional Minister Dr. Frank Amwakohene, akasa ewo Enshira FM. Now, or the leaked info be atoja, and as reportedly, and Sama Ibrahim Hussein, a channel said, Afenyo market are refunded by 500,000 Ghana cedis, Sika, not a belonging to Maslock, what Tia Sikano back, Ama Maslock. Afenyo Reverend Ntim Fordjour, and also I make it similar refunds. Yeah, recover Sikabi free Ntim. Now, Otto and Samson, or just say, in the previous administration, most of their dealings, corruption was linked. Now, direct corruption, corruption, and offense, and Mabia, yano, corruption, a bone. Now, or just say, the oral is not for prosecution, the oral is for recovery. Now, prosecution is in the process. Otto and Samson, or Casafa, or say SCB, Nesema. Attorney General and Afenyo the state any aid. Yeah, was say Abra he was looking up to Hussein ACB and as a say the role model, but now on names that allegedly Obetima caused losses to the state up to this magnitude.
On say Ghana Hana Yawono. Yin di adansi say Ade ama Ghana your also actually a corruption. In fact, now we can be from a Transparency International form. Now we share scorecards of Mode Mayen. In fact, I reho now on my yeti or my mu. Now you soon here, your corner copy sika the bar. Ni asa ye kriti, ni luti and ni asa share. Then I think there was a PBB a bit messy and no quine once and for all. A yadi sia. But say ka say way back no abeye na wako na we so abeto aso no abeye no wako a I think that's a not just say dey bia no ye will be we trimu say government goes government comes but the obeba no so be ye de na foforo no so ye den eye no enti wo say ye pe bibi be si anokwan so what you say NDC ye baye mintimi nkache mintimi ntra han ka say NDC they are squeaky clean and I say NDC omunye katashe na boye bia da if you say NDC akoso da but enne de yesi ye de emra ebe ye adwuma se na be ya obi a wabo man no kro no bia no emra no ne be de ebedi ebe serve as deterrence to others until next time no ba mu a woni be da ho si anya ne na da be ne yensa anya de bio on say NDC no yentisa large baumia MPP aba no muka say so muka so mu fight corruption ni nyina and omo time na sa large baumia ana say MPP candidate bi bia 2049 mu woko nyina no wono so beduru a corruption case be no me fight ento mu so mu fight corruption NDC e ba ye no ene si da bi ye de wo say fight corruption no ene ya start oral operation recover all loot enya operation prosecute all looters recover all loot ni to say enra mahu publication be and am say Afenyo Markins Sigo kwaji o maslock of 500,000 wo tua ora adwuma no manya ne tie say osofo no ye friends and sofo a omato ni sofo mokoi sofo o MPP sofo ya national cathedral Ntim Fordjour ono so akotua no de looters na be na
lootba say we may have differences in religion but obi a or that place in here come and let's be careful we don't sound blasphemous.
All right okay I get you you see omunyina ye nkofo a enkanye NDC na wa ba mu a kasa sika we nyina no enke ma ye kran kente da ke kra enim se sikafo kra na maslok na edi ma hiafo no ye de ne nim se hiafo enye se MPP wo aba mu anke enim se ye sikafo nkwa magdan mu nyina mu di won bi ye enti ye recover na kakra but prosecute looters no e won didi so hwe the national affairs and service scandal hu che mi bia scandal bia me hu ma me the last scandal am te ye under MPP okay PDS I carry close to 2 billion apart from no this scandal 2.2 billion cedis enye sika keto awo 2.2 billion cedis say sika we ya kan wasemi say time calculators mako 15 edi besi hakotu ejuso ni e diska gum 10 cedi e be ye makra me bia ka hanim say yes because ye share calculators be 15 akwa han ejuso a sika we nyina oba ba ko enim papa na you see dem ye kese pa ye rasibe in fact ono oyobi a na me penasem ye mi so nyina no na me hwe no dey was politics no na em fe but say na me nim say bibi say woni trimu allegedly say obetumi amagana ya hwere say sika we me asema metimi aka kire o efense attorney general ne say eye waka amagana for eden yahu say ni say na eden akos in fact even na won kan ye kura no Ghana for yehu ye bande wo ba be kire me hu sika ewo mu kwan be na ofa so ene pese hu ni sisi a enti mesre corruption scandals akoso Ghana hanim say nyina me MPP na me ka asem bako MPP for no mo nante corruption MPP ni num so abra corruption nka hu bi on didi abra corruption on shata dia corruption nka hu bi but se wa ba na so hu sa ne ma we nyina e wo se e wororo ni nyina firi ho ne neutralizing so ne de ma omo enti eno ena Ibrahim Mahama say o ba establish a fast track court bi Mr. Omunya Ntim justice delay justice deny Mr. Mo entempa na omo ma bo man no kro no bia no ye fam nya den engira mranim uni de me ya baako Ira Kenofrata Mr. Attorney General no OSP Mr. collaboration ni munya fast because muka so yare ameme ne munya adwen ye ne wo Victor Salome e wo ha na wo dance wo mu
ma me so menye fast
conditions ni so
ma me so menye fast na me free ho na me call Robert so me dance Robert ma me tiro
Ibrahim Etwa Nsemson or a condolence message to the family of the former first lady na Konadu Ajima Rollins ya oma abusuafo nyina yako afenso no osama Ghana fo nyina yako say ya hwere ni patitiri efri say oversight ne contributions ne women empowerment ene afenso no ne achievement waye ewo Ghana ha ya watch say NDC epic inspiration from her almost selected the first female vice president currently Jinana Opoku Ajeman Afenso no in transitioning of Ghana into a democratic rule Hussein Ibrahim she played a role by speaking to her husband says hand Ghana to a democratic rule na say akon and I say war is here e ma e de kola e be bre enitino owo oba odwene ne manfo ho odwene Ghana fo nyina ho and I say odwene ne mma ho.
And I think for the last Emra any ne because se neme kuyi ana meboa ene man kuyi me hwe me maame no manum na me hwe nkura me amiti wei maame wei in fact impact what they ama o man Ghana nyina no any impact keto na ya hwe ni pa bi se ya e wo se ya yi ekoyi mu yi me maame ye maame a de bia me de ne toto me maame ho me maame ye obi a odwene na busua ho yi me maame ye obi a onye obi a oye coward maame untimi hunu na me maame se me maame hwe na sade a wo ye be boa no ma nko ade a obeye me maame ye obi a se ne ban ne man didi ame a onhwa bonten sofo obi make sure se ne ma ame ansa na wa eden odi akwa bonten maame we akwa ye maame a Ghana nyina no obi enu wo ndi no so mfaso se me no mi no obi ati obi adi no so mfaso in fact me research kakra bi wo hwe ye mra kuni ye constitution na ankasa kra na maame we wabon ho modi yi ama niema bebre wo constitution maame we ka ho bi nti na bae na me hwe abra separation of powers rule of law saa eniema ni ina eba constitution ni mu no you say maami we susu no in fact say no money boka ho bi enti wo say Ghana nyina no ye hu si ahwera de kese na we make we say no susu no na meka assembly ndra me hu ade ma me rehuye pa bloggers no ye nya abotre kakra bloggers ye nya abotre
omo ka say ye ni nya ndisi ye ni ade no
no meka bloggers ni ka mo si nya ye ni nya ndisi ye no hwe say ndra me hu video bi abusuafo no isu na bloggers be 220 edimirika twa omo ho pe videos na twa esu na omusu no enti su no osu no na ye ofe anase de na ye ofe you see mumie nya abotre edu emrese ya eya na akoma no na ayeden asei na enkoya ade emma nipa no emfa bufu enkoya obibi ntimi srema ho de ho ne hia me pa ntimi yi ho na firi ho ye ma me baaye 31st December women's movement say society development but women's movement no impact ben en e dia bre o man Ghana mami boaboa ma no in fact ebi soda samina na bi ye eniema e beboa o man ni nyina mami we make sure say leadership emma ye inclusivity e wo leadership mami we e ka ho bi mami we metima ka say mami we e na Ghana for me ma ye hwe so hu say ye ma oba akonya so on serve a e betima aboa ye na mi tie Eugene o se woni oba wadi kan kandini oba ni mu se o person be president o Ghana akukuduro ye yize so dia benya bio enne ya hwe no so a mande nya first female vice president e wo Ghana anim say enti 31st women's movement no ho aba e na ne ye de nya first female vice president wo Ghana no enti ahwera de kese NDC be gina so nyina no ntimi yi mami we free mu whether you like it or not mami we have play key role papa we NDC mu say ye benya friend say tamana soja kun ena na edi Ghana so ne sa ne mani nyina no ye transition iba am ya ba benya democratic rule krampo no mami we o ka ho bi because oba de woni ukunu say yes so opa de free bema honum na so ka kire ne yira easy so betima da nya free no ho mamu we so dadwene hu say yansesa ne mamu a entokwa ba emma pa ne bre enkura ne bre oni ni kunu akasa ama ni kunu atene ma ase asesa ma Ghana ne democracy yemi nyina ye enjoy no ohwe Ghana a rich democracy wo de toto other countries so Ghana ye de akra de hwe obi timi kogina ba bi kekana enka ne nka obetima kogina ba bi didi president asem wo de bi bisa o enka no timi kogina ba bi didi president atem wo didi na tem na ehwo na ogina na ya be so mu ho no ba ne ma mu e ka ho bi nti ena ka bi ma mi nka bi even kra ya abuse no aye de ye niema enye ye mpanifo ne ye di o matem na ira na akufo ado obetimi awo wo hia no na busuem pa ba wo so ye ndisi nti na wudi na tem wodi watem wodi na tem afa honko ira joma ma wo hia na busuem na wudi na tem Alaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia wunya no abusuem ope na wudi na tem sa niema we ye niema metimi aka kire wo say emmoyen maame no democracy no oboama democracy ni CPC tatru no kunu so no in fact enye sa democracy we ne pe nti niema bi wono ma ya nkasa so no yensesan firi hu ne mboa na Ghana amamuo na ye pese Ghana yebebu na ama Ghana nkoso akoso no yebedi ni yi na so far so good de metimi aka ne say ma maame ne yakọ nim say Ghana ni bia hu say maame no waboa oman no
okay but that's it
Hussein Ibrahim so nsem eba awie no Eugene Osei to the fact checker and so I send a condolence message to Ghana for and Afenyo the family of the former first lady Nana Konadu Agyeman Rollins na yentie nensema okafa the late former first lady Nana Konadu Agyeman Rollins.
This picture between Dr. Mayangelo and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rollins, and you could be a huno star no Madame Fulio because it's silhouette, you know, was our iconic G and on the side. And I metro be a free bar. And yeah, there's on a flight lieutenant John Rollins Achimota. Then you come to KNUST Africa Hall, Konami Continental Unity Hall. Intimate because I'm somehow affiliated to her because I know Africa Hall. No, my bit of contest here. Then this next picture no is about the family. Kora 4. Minimum one almost a dodo, but minimum say ba ko de anima ba ko de yasantoa as another day I think a bit clear than Beman Kimati. So and obete ne ho NDP say person contest 2016 about ballot and so because 22 contested Prof Mills anye ye. This is 2020. President Rawlings free on the 12th of November 2020. 5 years any. So there's a bit of contest. Now let's go back to the Nakunedu. Mission interview, you know. I learned certain things now. I looked at Kaima Didia, I'm a pastor can you say God intervenes in the affairs of men using men.
Yeah.
Or say Yankopon anya so the brafre du kubati ati or say Yankopon ne so no Yankopon no nhia no okam nhia na dum to beye mo bia ma wa de be fa nipa so na nipa ye sa mo na ma why am I saying so anakuna du ye wo no Cape Coast benim so ya Asante in 1948 nana ne papa edwuma wo UAC permit checks na a trading company supermarket chains of companies ni ade to movie ye otena so do kakra free swedro no eno mo call takwa eno mo bank kokko enjoy your world traveled na enkoko no ko school kakra ba na nitimi ne de
before so beto so Eugene I say literature ni na highlight your papa little is said of mommy.
Yes, I think say ne papa no because of prominent you say ne papa no free UAC no okay adwuma o GN or GNTC
okay
that time no his father was one of the only 2 black managers arising to that position. No? The second man, I think Reginald Dana, that is Kofi Annan, papa. It was a papa, no, I said, baby, no, there was that prominence. No, the first black, say, Chancellor. I was okay, and was happy for yet me did that. He was the first black vice chancellor in Nimino. And I think, say, because of that. Clout and papa no one any baby o ye adwuma nti na man ba na mame I think Elena Jimano so no Asante Royal no so your back kukudru for any other the literature is there and Osha talking a lot about na mame because na papa na kwa around na mame na say holding krami and sani together any other no so call enkoko na mfini ne de ne bra class as o kwa no de bra chi but first time on do casual school no around the cemetery mo kwa akra no that is school no say prestigious a promise school no call kakra ofuro no call Ghana International School GIS and no kwa achimota no kushia papa ye friend no Jerry John Rawlings and you see owi achimota no call London Kebia Rawlings are no kan kema so what happened 2 days to so be call London go ne papa wiska papa prominent and no call ne uncle ho e wo university of Ghana so call kra no ofa mi so mi ko na no fa se da bi da Unia bako or my Unia Bemako or my also Besoko enye menti ase. Or say oh no catch no of and say interview footprint or catch no of and say aba wo nya me papa. Na the reference so ya Santini. Azantinu papa nua your papa.
Yes.
And you say o kwa no say papa ne bebo na sum. Ba papa na mo no so de kofie. Enkomo e wo me no papa bebo sa nkomo no. Afọ ndo wa kofie ne ma me so mbo no kwa ka 2 days so ko London. Also ofia ne papa ba your friend maame. Ne wo fansu di akire onom so nko ne dem na jampanifo bo nkomo wa ne maame di abufu aba say yesi enye ye pack ba enumere na ye do kukumase
yeah
listen and they be am say me say God has a way so when people ask me to define my life I'm a be providence we say see na dey won ti ase but with hindsight no o se senye manati sisi so at me say nyankopon na na ehye de no now, never financial day okay Legon. I don't want to Legon. Satan na Legon na agitation ho. Na KNUS na ho. Na no for den buy. No for den buy KNUS no den call register so nko ya architecture. Ana konedu oso no stubborn kakra. To twema no for kwa de che no call register say there be meya art. Got decoration some ne ye fe. That was how she got into KNUS. Enwe no ba KNUS no. And Obeshia Vice Chancellor Fanny Van Fum or Penasam or Tunifo Ba, betting me away, betting me away to 31st December movement. No, aha, and an APK.
Okay.
Interesting. And a deputy SRC General Secretary. Now, what's interesting is obey a main SRC Secretary, no, not SRC President or APV or Bain, Pro Victor Bain, who will later become the Secretary of Secretaries for the PNDC.
Man, no free, I could carry no.
Yes. Later become the chairman of the KNUST Council. Ghana, how we cannot write thinkers. To so pe jam name omo form European Union thinkers. Those who shape their politics are PV Obeng. There's an interesting story. To know ye general secretary no, not PV Obeng and KNUSASRC president. How would the relationship of PV Obeng form together with Rollins? PV Obeng is a mechanical engineer or a fishing company be a tamale. Flight Lieutenant General Rollins and so ne konadum pranachena ye because one call land in Ogusu Ghana. No pay obi onim afidie ho niam bi no aboa no armed forces niam bi no oh me abranti ana me di secretary president o ye mechanical engineer. That was the connection between Rollins and PV Obeng.
Okay.
So when I say American, sometimes these all these things are divinely connected in a certain way. It's in activism, no. So Kasha the target in India that abandoned the Nkemwa. But back here in university, for you to become a secretary of an S house in what was our election there, you need to have mobilization.
Yeah.
And now I'm for so good morning gun. At a point, the 31st December movement, they had almost 2 million people. You won't cry on course we are calling friend to tell friend to the first time we call school of boy to me area na 31st December school. My man kasa ba be school no ye a poem at the man. Omo ko ya na volunteer se coachan papa say obetima ye nipa bi onko school ni bi. So first time I were classroom 31st December movement school and ne obo Ghana first journalists obo 10 20 20 here din bebem. So the impact no wide. And when I'm academic, at a point, some researchers even quote 870 preschools and community schools will create here. That is the impactful. Me first lady from Bombay so BBN because of mommy. But she was the longest serving, briefly 79, and I started 31st December 1981. A Koya Junta for almost 11 years. Transition to become the first one in the first Republican dispensation. Me who first said the union no impact for some Amida. She was that impactful, and it's because of one uncle's advice. It's for me, I'm a traffic will be a cobra. And I'm a catcher one for say sometimes be two. Is there so bad transfer? Soon, you know, now that's why you're more. No? Learn the lessons in there, then move on. Maybe God is orchestrating that pattern because of Bibia and that one. Go be a Colandana, Edian Caraya and Kemaso. And in fact, let me kind who was it? Ambassador DK or say some of these established diplomats say sometimes even the transition to the democratic rule in the Fourth Republic, you can credit her.
Yeah, largely.
Because for you to become the wife of J.J. Rollins in the public lineage, and then it's our Hennemano. Hardly Panso Bettes and Crano, so she played a certain significant role. It's immediate, she needs to be celebrated. State, to His Excellency, 3 days state morning. Flag, if you say half mass, and flag half mass near there, a good state by there, a cook obey. But it also tells you, sometimes you need to also take certain decisions if you feel strongly about it.
Especially bold ones.
And I know, okay, you be
so a minority, no?
Yes. Also, no, okay, be bold. Oh, not senior, then you may catch a arm of, oh, you Jimmy Poisson, can you say? Edmund, you be a grow. You see, I didn't clear. Let me give you an example. And now, I'll be sending me video about Adama Kubefi or Bonku for Biniam MPP near there. When you go down to a track, yes, I am for your maze can eka. So there be an son your kind. Who person will take it group think ideas. There will be a one who could be. You will not distinguish yourself. But I don't know, history has captured this in the Fourth Republican dispensation. Oba or contested the first time on the ballot. I don't know. Oba the kinds I don't know. Ebe motivation be there. Maybe Ghana get a female president. Who knows? Fenebaba is enough to the war. You get it. To an and for me, Obi past 70. And I mean, me who say sad. I rather see it as a celebration of life. Celebration of life because let's see channel doso. Come on, I'm share no share the exposure any BBR. But luckily for her, no, Kadeba come the bashes and go for no book.
Oh yes.
Because you see, no way books are powerful. If ever pebby bar for Ajimandia, only see your Kofor Foundation. Otro book could be an eye care champion. When I read the book, I had a different view about eye care champion. And for me, after Kwame Nkrumah, there's no Ghanaian leader head to head who beat the champion. To me, after reading that book, because that book could serve as the igniter, the could be feather. The book could make kind of weekend. So we are happy that you leave the book be near Yanazan Crown. They say Papa Nio Mamino, Boma and Penny for. So they can. Maso my dream. Now sadly, Nanka, I think so. The birthday is 17th November. Well, Miss me November born. I think I cut just about what? Roughly 22 days. I nobody the 77th birthday. Mamma no looking the age crown. Half 77. But Namini Nimini a warrior. You yeah, the best dressing on
her. Me say the way I will see a baby near muscle. But me from where I'm coming from because of my background. If you know her, Yemra, yes, development of law.
Yes,
we are constitutional law. Kakrebia who say you cannot discuss constitutional law. Wabra own here MPP versus Attorney General. The 31st December. Movement case. When we say na 31st December no you cool ni see. Na o mining institutionalize say e be day I drew where o mining be celebrity. MPP at the time took the matter to court. There one particular case a travel year pa it was Supreme Court. My you should that particular case they establish a separation of powers. They establish the supremacy of the constitution. And when you say the court Ntim interfere, say you instituted the bisa a holiday. Now that is supposed to be under the purview and preserve for the legislature and the executive. The say 31st December woman and as a woman or more movement and so case in which me aba now shaping even the discourse of our law. I think she is the she was the architect behind
yes, it. Even another one cried the literature on the PNDC law 111, the interstate succession law. Hi, ban kola, papa free, nebusian for be Jim near there. No, even Lumba in some air can you say crano. A crowd, who's on your normal could interstate Indian on the activism, any idea. No,
and Bible Drews say spousal or marital rights.
Yes, and I say, maybe I'm the chief of staff for a man of first lady, Rebecca. This kind of coin. I was in between. Say sometimes you see obi play role bia. For example, Otumfo. Charlie, niamo mo ye nukromu hana ndaji no. Go and read Manas Azuri documentary about documentary book, the 4th John. Charlie, the role Otumfo played in 2016 to safeguard Ghana's peace in Ulim. It is sometimes no no. And you're visible, sir. And I'm from a delicate one. You're careful. I say, you are trying to usurp the powers of your husband. You know, it's they play very key role. But I was also not too happy. And I'm catching agent on Thursdays. I say, Ubuana. Because any monumental DBI name after her. On top of my head, and I'm Busa Madame Fulio or Love FM. My colleague, you know, can say, oh, Scooby Ashtown, 31st December, back on your friend who couldn't do asa. There's nothing really monumental about her, but to share the empowerment when it comes to women, maybe as a girl senior high school, be cry something because you see that they are not so what Emma a shameful phone friends will be a when you're the needing now what can be beer. Say mini baby say so maybe she paid and you see when it comes to Rollins, I did analyze here. I make us a chalk and cheese. There are people who will love him. There are people who hate him. The dark days were real. Oh, Cam Rollins, how did the dark days are real. We all have heard the stories. We all watch the.
As analytical as you are, all discussing days you look at the exigencies of the time.
Exactly.
At the time.
Exactly.
Were they not being hailed?
Yes.
So when you come into a different dispensation, now we're discussing those days.
Yes.
You should approach it with circumspect.
Yes, the context is important. But the back can okay, but all that I will say is that history will be kind to her. She played a role, and Medrin said the state should celebrate her in that order. Now, yeah, can simbi. Mamin throw her. Osedey, Oma can say those who celebrate no. Bro, for Ben American, those who celebrate no. Oma na be criticizing. But who say MPP phobia check me video no na then na me judge Bafato guy no. I don't know whether they don't listen. I've never judged anybody. I kept using the word allegedly. I kept using as said by the Attorney General. That's what I can say.
Yeah. So in journalism we call it attribution.
I'm not ignorant of the law.
Yeah.
So I always say that you can hate somebody. There's a relationship between Paul and Demot. You can hate Paul. That's your business. That doesn't mean I should hate him.
Yeah.
I don't dislike people through connections. So you can hate me. It's normal.
That's your business.
That's your business. But at least don't lie or don't misquote me. Now let me give you a context. So can say this. So I'm gonna do basic form. And that's my second story. This is where Ura began. Let me build a context for you. Yefrebibi Ghana Integrity Initiative. It is the local chapter of Transparency International. This is Ghana's corruption scorecard from 2012 to 2024. Okay, Afrobarometer survey until 2022, the government of the worst corruption perception. Now John Mahama phase 1 or phase 1. Premier Kufuor phase 2 no. Na nyakra. And I've said that my source is Afrobarometer corruption perception index. They're around 8 and around 9. Now let's go into it. Unya above 50 a year. If you near Kunya Papa Bia. Okay. And the President Mahama ba, let's assume 2012. Right? Because I have the year. 44, 46, 48, 47, 43. So before President Mahama left, the worst corruption perception index, Alita, 43.
Okay.
Meaning that only almost 6 out of 10 in Ghana perceived the Mahama regime as corrupt. Tiyebrofuna me say corruption perception index. Men can't corruption reality index. Now President Kufuor by the 2017 40, 41, 41, 43, 43, 43, 43, 42. Taluta. Yanya simple mass wa. You know you.
Yes.
So Kufuor's best corruption perception index in 8 years was 43. So Mahama's worst corruption perception index, as in 2016, was Kufuor's best corruption perception index. What does that tell you? It infallibly tells you that the Ghanaian people perceive the Kufuor's government as most corrupt compared to the John Mahama regime. This is data. I didn't manufacture the data. I've given you my sources. So on the back of that, the NDC said they will do something they call Operation Recover or Loot Oral. So if a man will says Orano, Ache, fast track court, near the Amala Misano, Yanfa. This is the backdrop. That the Mahama first one that did that. Sada, near Maniaman, ya 2 no Biano, Nanya Crown, near 43. Your poster boy, I think, will be president. Better than Casa. You know, Kwame Nkrumah number 2 year man, president, no buy, you know. The best Air 43. And then this one be oral. Now, this is where I felt there was a gap in communication. 10 February.
Before you move on to the gap, let's look at the formation of the oral.
Yes.
Time Anna Omampani commission oral. Now you're the president elect.
Yes.
So you're president elect until so Obeso Afenyo. With what powers was he clothed with to have commissioned this committee?
Yes, I'm coming there. What's your communication about? I'm so no more gather information. There's nothing wrong with a president elect saying that, oh, me pay information on something. After all, when you're president elect, even pay what the lawyers tell me, you are giving security briefings. So me, I didn't find any issue with it. Where I found an issue was something I said. And they come back to New York and they say, sometimes, I feel the political party supporters, they be me on my personal YouTube, say, I'm a firm fool, I be on my bank position. You know why? Let's go into it. I could the 2-year presentation. So I think I was traveling, I was on flight or something. It me take value me, I shame me. Say, what to be say, oh, I know mobile, no many 20 point. 1 billion. So at the point I'm called Facebook, this is the evidence. date 10 February. Now me say, I missed the presser. How did the oral team arrive at the 21.9 billion USD? Because gather information. You are not an investigating body. It's in this week. Dominic and PMS said that they gathered information. Some of them are even garbage.
Yes.
Aluta metao. Ebi abench FM. Ma ko catch you kuku se aluta o. One ma be tre kra wo ma kra o baby aluta de ka nipa fun bia we you the certificate go bank and certificate papa. Okuku de en so obegada. No dia koma craft nta craft na be investigation do okuku be jina so be ka aluta nipa bonefo a. Wa mo.
Yes.
Any aluta comment na se no. Ese wani. And na minim ne me week ya Dr. Justice Shams and GH1 interview no kan what say estimate near then high. It's not realistic. So it come back to the point to say and I'm baby say if oral committee cannot deliver the estimated 21.9 billion USD, what is the estimate now 7 months after reviewing the dossier of documents by the team? I hope that Attorney General speaks to that. And the Attorney General pressure no NBC pressure no about oral no. Yes, this is the background.
And that's why it's self-inflicted.
Exactly. Isn't that the DMA? Communication is key. I gave you the backdrop. Generally, people didn't perceive the Kufuor government as the best when it comes to corruption. One soon send me a back a chair could the tone at the press. Not only 21 billion. That is 7 times of IMF. DBE President Kufuor say no na born from the dark days in the Biano. Ya chechu mine 7 ya ba yes campaign the speech ni nyina no. 3 billion on by Benya 7 na Ghana ha. Yes amount for we are. People certainly be agitated about it. Na yenkoso. It is Shams Akadomeleva can be bia. Now on this, one in principle, I see nothing wrong with the Attorney General and say, "Oh my addict." May I watch a lot of these European I have to find details here. I want a lawyer need became you to him because I'm not a lawyer. But say, Papa be based on this backdrop, Emma update on corruption cases. No, I find nothing wrong with it. Now, what the MPP people who are sharing the Thursday video during FM because they've not listened and because they come with their own prejudices this. Abrante Hana almost allegedly what fiscal way about 50.8 billion what thought down here no. My issue is not even about him. My issue is a bigger conversation. Anita, what be a bank account da? Skabi be tomu da bank be a fraud. Leboa.
Yeah.
Osha NSS scandal. Allegedly, as he give to record G loan with DB. Documents or the COI and you're credible. I've used the word allegedly. Yes, you go say CB a transfer is Kebi any idea. It all comes back to the bank system, transfers any idea. So my question was that is it that Obuwa Bema on the bank system no and check your mana? Because Alita, I told you the information they be ya.
Can you kind of you?
Me say
yes.
Osha NSS scandal na. Some say ya mama give to worry or kwaji loan or bank bi. Or then krata enya papa na kwaji loan. 2. Abranti some say money laundering activities kebi enya na dey moving around. 3. You say it be some movies kebi. Meboa in the NSS scandal. Osha come na do more then so no say bank movies kebi. My question is say only as uncle from Bema is it that the bank system with different laws be applied to them than us and I because me I also do consultancy. I receive foreign remittances. I work for a lot of people. I do have a lot of cash. Questions are 50 times and 40 times to account when you bisa one. I don't get how people can allegedly transfer these monies. Then it's like there's no red flag because a red flag in buyer can be prevented and I'm a boy. So for me, that is where the conversation is. But you see, because of their hate,
this is very interesting.
Because of their prejudice, because of their ignorance and their haste to comment and not listen, they won't even get it.
The assembly bar, they are Ntim, they are a political doorstep.
I wish you can play.
Yes.
I told them, say, the head of supervision unit of the Bank of Ghana, must be questioned.
That's true.
The Bank of Ghana governors must be able to tell us. Sabtoni going to prove in your way, and in your question, they must tell us because banks in the when you read the borders report and all that, some of these things were mentioned in the report. We spent in excess of 30 billion US the minimum taxes, and yet they could clean the banking sector. No, but remember another example. Look at the Public Accounts Committee.
Yeah.
Minia, and you want say. It's come back to this. Obi awu. Aluta ye kwaye ni bi. Chairman ni busa no council ye ko bi. Na nipa ni pay akọ 26 months. Because the union say to abeka hanana say we MPP ni si obi bedi matam. Me na me tami awu. Kanye mi bibia.
But you see, I feel say you don't even have to waste your energy on that.
You see?
Was a while ago, me can say the biggest judge on this earth is your conscience.
Yes.
Do you feel say now no a year?
Yes.
Continue with that.
But Matthew, interestingly, Obia ya fan for fraud 10 months. You pay.
Yes.
But you pay wu. Ya kwa ni bio, ye ko bi.
I you say what remains in that way.
Ye ko bi obi pa na to nem. Me pay ya 26 months. A bit me to video be 40,000. So I went on my Facebook and I asked 3 questions. Say, 1, me menya abedjuma I've worked in the private sector for the last 5 years. Abedjuma my national service. Is it that state agents only internal auditors? 1, 2, only internal auditors. Only nyoma bi say ya. What is the next line of action? Because see, Hanan minimum. Victoria crowd was me defending the same Abeka say no no kwani this cano allegedly. But then say, where is our state institutions reactive towards corruption and not preventive? Because multimedia, who could handle CB2 and SCD Kurana? Near Fordjour.
No, there was a banker, me bufu ya had wanted to even close my account. Sika kuma we better my account. Me pesa me withdraw with my ATM. Me call me say the cash cannot be dispensed. Me call bank or me say. Yes, I may update my records to justify why that amount is in my kitty.
Yeah.
And I was like, how?
Sure. Okay. This is supposed to be. Allegedly, I saw to fee $1.6 million. Per the laws of Ghana, I saw declaring an asset.
Yes.
Which lies in the bosom of the auditor general. How can someone purchase a dime? You man saw a bank transfer, utuya cash. Our security agency, they will go the FIC, SEC. Bank of Ghana. We don't have a system that checks these things. So we too fee. What you say? When you make a certain amount of transaction, it doesn't ring any red signal. What allegedly told you. And this is not the first matter to be at Todang. It happens. Mr. Chef, a public accounts committee. No. You time in a ton of 44,000 or 5,000. You be a ton of 40,000. So my question is, maybe beyond a brand here, or not maybe I say I'm in cover scan. Make my cousin me jail some no aluta. You have to offer 500 cedis. Hey, aluta bra. Who now we shirt ya rock ya cold dome ya tongue or boxer ya tongue or podari ya tongue. You really have 350. Say 150 na aka. Aluta okay. 500 and guess what them 25 ka 150 with the 3 years you are fine. But maybe you sikan. Say allegedly fee 2 something go 2.2 billion. So maybe you sikan. But for me, the bigger conversation is about the state institutions. Why is the audit service? Well, aluta. You to me an internal audit service. You to me GRA. Now you want the year kwa you be there be assistant flagging. But some profu we the alleged normal catch as one the end the a quarter thing be say. As one the end the as hindrance be any omo the any smooth. Anyway, my boss now been at that to me. 2020 $100 CBD K University. K University form some fairly $100. So our banks, our state institutions, financial intelligence, they must be able to make. So I told you the way. The next line of action is for all these financial related state agencies to tell us how these things are possible. Because you have a history. Read the borders report on the banks. How bank managers, bank owners were moving cash around. Is it free for all? because me you just said to me explain the banking sector nya say na tenti ada na omo de ne de allegedly it is we need to be able to fix it. What you see mama at the backdrop, this is Ghana's corruption perception scorecard and my catch say your democracy no say ekose ya na say ya me adua ha people lose interest in the politics and the democracy. People lose interest in it. And again, the Arab Spring, when you read about it, when you read about the failing democracies, I say, in focus among folks, that is why I said that it is a corruption perception index. Now, the Attorney General must prove to the whole Ghana, send your whole Ghana, and you are supposed to say, answer the TV, discuss here. It is nonsense to me. Why must our corruption fight be reactionary at the end of this can? Say, all this can answer no be this can. I want to see a block size can in echo.
No, yeah, now, I'm quoting something from the Constitution 1992. We share Article 19(2)(c) no. Or say obi aya charge and say we be na say wabokro no ye criminal no. So any panel is presumed to be innocent.
Yeah.
Until he's proved or he pleads guilty.
Yeah.
The Ghana's say system near acquisitorial.
Yeah.
They say these people so mentioned. Omo faith is yet to be proven in court.
Yeah.
Attorney General say why investigations.
Yeah.
Are we not treading on a dangerous path? Early on, I'll ask them because I said early on, foreign countries in Omoyesa.
Yeah.
In fact, last night I was watching similar presser from the United States.
Yeah.
So it is not ad hoc. But how is this situated in law?
It's because of the context. The context is that we have the worst corruption perception in the last 10 years under certain regime. The regime is perceived corrupt. And it's for now papers. The catch is 21 billion. What the What hey. He will be the message you basa to see from one my 100,000. Anka so nana so mami sisi ameba. What I say?
National Saturday social events or
exactly. What I say? It is how you na ka ho. Enti na make say me hana me me de ne say allegedly nyama so my yi.
In the first place.
Obviously comment say you omo nko a. Intermediate beyond the Attorney General, there need to be a broader conversation on your financial intelligence. Now say Yahoo semi. Who's a paper net magana? Your visa and sense them. Say Yahoo semi romance scam. Nessa. Nina is linked to some money laundering. Coco bank wa paper ne boho. Companies will create the companies on track record. Ye then. That's where we have a system. So we will create a company. Allegedly maybe 5 years can be a film. We need to track all these things. No.
Okay.
My last story, bro.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.